Recording in progress.
Is it shared? You're sharing the screen. That's okay. All right. So thank you everyone for coming, especially the grihasthas trying to find time. It's difficult in material world. We have done up to verses 2:15, and we are on chapter 2, verse number 16. So far, we have been discussing, those who have not been here in the previous sessions, we've been discussing the first reason why Krishna is trying to console, the first reason why Arjun decided not to fight. And the first reason was compassion. Compassion. And compassion was because they were my own near and dear ones. मेरे रिश्तेदार हैं, इसलिए compassion है. Now, Krishna is slowly trying to, initially he tried to bring him to some sense. Of course, it's a Leela. Arjun never lost his sense. Arjun never lost his discrimination. The whole thing is a Leela where Krishna is being put into bewilderment so that we can learn the lessons of life from Bhagavad Gita, from this conversation. And the very first lesson we discussed, the most important lesson that we learned as a practical example was 18.70. Prema Mataji, are you there? Yeah, please, can you repeat it loud enough for everyone? 70. Just 1 minute. Just wait. I'll just put it on the for online devotees as well and everyone. Okay, yeah, go ahead from the translation.
What is this sacred conversation of ours worships me by his intelligence.
And I declare that he who studies this sacred conversation of ours worships me by his intelligence. Those who are listening, attending physically, remotely, to hear the conversation between Arjun and Krishna are actually worshipping Krishna at this moment. आप इस समय भक्ति कर रहे हैं. And that's the most important part. Wherever you get a chance, in a temple, home program, anywhere, do attend the classes on Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, the scriptures, what our Shad Goswamis have written. Always stay connected with Krishna. What is the first rule of Krishna consciousness?
Always remember Krishna, never forget.
Bang on. Always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. Hari Bol. Anyone remember the Sanskrit of it? Satam Smartam Vismritachajatuchit Sarvidhi Nishedasyor Etayoreva Kinkaraha. Always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. First, the most important thumb rule. If you remember that, you'll remember to attend the classes as well. Okay, let's come to the verse of today. So we learned never to forget Krishna. And one who is listening to this conversation, attending to this conversation, studying this conversation, listening, hearing, we did discuss about the five senses, the knowledge acquiring senses. The knowledge. So what are the five knowledge acquiring senses जिनसे हमें ज्ञान मिलता है? वो पांच कौन सी हैं? Senses के नाम बोलिए. Good. Eyes, very good. Ears, tongue,
Mouth.
nose,
Skin.
skin, the touch, right? These are the 5 sense organs or senses with which we get the perception, we get the knowledge of what's happening around us. For any other sense, you have to put some effort. But for listening, you don't have to put effort. That's the only sense. ये वो इंद्री है जो आखिर तक आपके साथ रहेगी. Is the last sense which gives up. The person who is dying may lose a sense of touch, sense of smell. They don't feel like eating. They may have lost their sense of taste. लेकिन sunna or hearing is that sense is the last one to go. That's why when a devotee is about to leave his or her body, that's why all the other devotees congregate next to their hospital bed or home bed, wherever they are passing from one body to another, or maybe to an eternal body. And they all start singing the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Because the sense of listening is the last sense to leave you. आखिर तक आप सुन पा रहे हैं. इसलिए it is good to be in the congregation, that when we leave our body, our near and dear ones, the real spiritual God brothers and sisters, will be around us, singing the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And once we come to chapter 8, we will see Antkale cha mameva ta kalevaram ya prayati bhavam yati nati astra. Very good. At the last point of your life, whatever you are thinking of is what the body you will get in your next life. So if you are listening of Krishna and the devotees around you are helping you to listen at your last moment about Krishna, you will get a spiritual body. You will not get this body which has got the 4 defects. What are the 4 defects? Bound to make mistakes, illusion, imperfect senses, and propensity to cheat. ये आपको भौतिक शरीर जिसमें इतनी कमियां हैं नहीं मिलेगा. Think of everything. Anything which comes out of your body, perspiration to anything else. Prabhupada says in one of his purports in Bhagavatam, anything which comes out of your body smells foul. Actually, this was a class where I raised an objection. And that's the only exception, actually. Unless you are using your words to describe the glories of Krishna. That's the only thing which comes out of your mouth, or the only thing which comes out of your body which doesn't smell foul. For newcomers, it does. Jaundice वाले को मीठा गोली दोगे ना तो they will jump. कड़वा है, it's bitter. Slowly, this medicine starts to work. So Krishna consciousness is also like that. Okay, so we come to today's verse where Arjun is refusing to fight. Krishna is telling him to go ahead and fight, and why this sudden Hridaya Daurbalyam, weakness of heart, has come upon you. You're a Kshatriya, you're supposed to fight. You're supposed to do your duty. And Arjun is refusing, giving arguments. And the first argument he gave was, they are my very own, मेरे अपने हैं, मर जाएंगे तो. And now, from actually the 16th verse, let me just go back to a couple of verses back. When Arjun was so confused, or purportedly or allegedly so confused, Krishna tried to chastise him in a friendly way. कुतस्थम कश्मलमिधम विस्मय समुपस्थितम एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा। ये कहाँ से तुम में ये सब मैल आ गई है? तुम तो पढ़े लिखे हो। And then eventually being so confused, there was one good thing in the Arjun, and that's what we are supposed to also do in our lives. Despite the confusions and the bewilderment and the bhram that is given by this bhautik nature, by the material nature, Arjun had one good sense that he, with his knowledge, with his opulence, with his power, with his strength, will not be able to get out of this confusion. What did he do? He surrendered. शिष्यास्ते अहम शाधि माम त्वम प्रपन्नम। आई सरेंडर टू यू कृष्णा। भौतिक जगत के सारे क्रियाकलाप हमें समझ नहीं आएंगे। वी हैव टू सरेंडर टू अ डिवोटी, एन एडवांस डिवोटी। एंड नाउ कृष्णा हैज टेकन अप द रोल ऑफ अ गुरु, नो मोर अ फ्रेंडली रोल। एंड द गुरु is chastising him. He is also appreciating him. You are Kaunteya. You are Bharat Rishabh. That's like pepping up somebody's, ego, you can say. अरे तुम तो कितने बड़े परिवार, you belong to such a great ancestry. Come on, fight. What will the world think? दुनिया क्या बोलेगी? Your ancestry was famous for keeping all the religious principles going. They were so dutiful. And here you are, coming from the same clan and not willing to do your duty? Up until now, Krishna has been just trying to console, giving him overarching knowledge. From here, 16th verse, now Krishna really starts to talk about Atma, the soul, the real Gyan about ourselves, the Gyan of self realization. I am not this body, I am the soul, starts from today's verse. आज से लेके up to couple of weeks, up to verse number 30, this is going to continue. And Krishna will tell him in the future verses, Atma is nothing but it accepts clothes, a body, the way we put on some clothes and change the clothes. वो आएंगे, so those verses will be coming. So what is the first indication that Krishna is giving? What is the first teaching that Krishna is giving to Arjun about Atma? Why is Krishna doing this? Is because Arjun thinks he's going to lose his very own people. And Krishna is telling him, no, you will not lose anybody. The ones who are really yours, जो आपके अपने हैं, are not the ones that you see in this body or the body. The one who is really yours, you think are yours, they're actually the soul inside those bodies that you are seeing. ये द्रोण और भीष्म जिनके लिए तुम रो रहे हो, ये असली में आत्मा है, और उस आत्मा को तुम देख भी नहीं पा रहे हो। और जिससे तुम संबंध बना के बैठे हो वो सिर्फ एक मृत शरीर है और कुछ नहीं है। And to justify this point, to counteract the argument of or the reasoning of Arjun of compassion, मेरे अपने मर जाएंगे, मुझे नहीं लड़ना, Krishna is now starting the ज्ञान of Atma and Paramatma. Atma and the body, the differentiation, sorry, not Paramatma. Paramatma part will come later on. So, Prabhu's first. Would you like to, Prabhu, Recite this verse.
Sanskrit.
Correct.
नहीं बाबू संस्कृत रहेंगे.
Try. We are all like that. Don't worry.
No, I will repeat, bro. No,
Bolo, bolo. Start. No. That's what these home sessions are for. Nasato, bolo.
नासतो
Vidyate bhavo
भावो
na abhavo vidyate satah ubhayor api drishto
दृष्टो
antas
अंतरस
tva anyos
सव अन्योस
tattva
तत्व
darshibhihi. Okay, very good. आप एक बार बोलें, we'll repeat after you. Loud enough.
नासतो विद्यते भावो
नासतो विद्यते भावो
न भावो विद्यते सतः
न भावो विद्यते सतः
उभयोरपि दृष्टो तन्तस्
उद्भ्योरपि दृष्टो अन्तस् त्व त्वन्योस्. Let him speak. त्वन्योस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः. I'll do it once and then everybody, Mataji's can do. Nasato vidyate bhavo
नासतो विद्यते भावो
न भावो विद्यते सतः
विद्यते सतः
उभयोरपि दृष्टो अन्तस् त्वन्योस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः. Mataji's.
Vidyate bhavo.
Nasato vidyate bhavo
Vidyate satha.
न भावो विद्यते सतः
Vidrishto antas.
उभयोरपि दृष्टो अन्तस् न त्वन्योस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः. माताजी. नासतो विद्यते भावो न भावो विद्यते सतः उभयोरपि दृष्टो अन्तस् त्वन्योस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः. One more, Mataji.
Nasato bhavo.
नासतो विद्यते भावो न भावो विद्यते सतः अभयोरपि दृष्टो अन्तस् दर्शिभिः त्वन्योस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः. Thank you. Since you tried, how about the translation? Loud enough because people are listening.
Those who are scared of the truth have concluded that the non-existence, the material world, there is no endurance, and of the internal, the soul, there is no change. This I have concluded by studying the nature of both.
So quite a little bit complicated looking translation. Those who are seers of the truth have concluded that of the non-existent, the material body, there is no endurance, and of the eternal, there is no change. This has been concluded by studying the nature of both. Krishna previously was talking to Arjun, saying that what you are looking at your teachers gives you happiness. When you think of them dying, gives you unhappiness. In the passage of your duty, in the execution of your duty, there will be happiness and unhappiness is coming on your way, or items which will give you happiness and unhappiness. The distractions will come on your way, but learn to tolerate the distractions. And we discussed in depth what tolerate means. Tolerate doesn't mean if somebody slaps you, give the other cheek also and say, slap me. That's not tolerate. Tolerate here means the distractions which are coming in your way while you are executing those duties, bear with them and continue. And the examples we saw, if the kitchen is warm, Mataji still cook on the summer days. Kitchen is cold, Mataji still cook. Whether it's comfortable or not, you tolerate. And now, after showing all the external reasons, giving external reasons, giving a path to do your duty to Arjun, Krishna is now talking of the internal reasons. The teachers that you are looking are only souls. Those who are seers of the truth. Very important here. Why does Krishna talk? Let's go back to the verse. जिन्होंने तत्व को देखा. Let's see if I can bring the Hindi translation and maybe we can go through Hindi one as well. Mataji, would you like to read the Hindi? Can you read Hindi? Yeah.
That अनुवाद
Anuvad, yes, please. Loud enough.
ऋषियों ने यह निष्कर्ष निकाला है कि असत भौतिक शरीर का तो कोई चिरस्थायित्व नहीं है,
Very good.
किंतु सत आत्मा अपरिवर्तित रहता है. उन्होंने इन दोनों की प्रकृति के अध्ययन द्वारा यह निष्कर्ष निकाला है.
बहुत बढ़िया. Wonderful. I wasn't expecting that. तत्वदर्शियों ने ये निष्कर्ष निकाला है कि असत, सत और असत, there are quite a few learning points. सत असत क्या होता है? Why is Krishna talking of Tattvadarshi Bhi when he himself is the stronger, the largest, the most beautiful, the most knowledgeable? Then why is he talking of the seers of the truth? तत्वदर्शियों ने ये निष्कर्ष निकाला है. अरे कृष्णा, तो आप, यू आर द बिगेस्ट. निष्कर्ष तो आपको निकालना है. यू हैव टू गिव अस द ट्रूथ. Why are you taking the evidence of others? This is also a learning curve for us. आज बात करेंगे इसके लिए. So, तत्वदर्शियों ने यह निष्कर्ष निकाला है कि असत यानी भौतिक शरीर का तो कोई चिरस्थायित्व नहीं है. चिरस्थायित्व मीन्स टू लिव फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम और इटर्नल. किंतु सत, देखिए पहले असत की बात, फर्स्ट वी टॉक्ड ऑफ असत, नाउ वी टॉकिंग ऑफ सत, द ट्रूथ. किंतु सत यानी आत्मा अपवर्तित रहता है. देयर इज नो चेंज, परिवर्तन नहीं होता उसमें. उन्होंने इन दोनों की प्रकृति के अध्ययन द्वारा, उन्होंने मीन्स हु आर दिस? तत्वदर्शियों ने. हाँ, उन्होंने इन दोनों की प्रकृति के अध्ययन द्वारा यह निष्कर्ष निकाला है. Very important. Before we go into any detail of this verse, let's see what Krishna is trying to teach us by the very first words, the seers of the truth. The seers of the truth. Very good. Yes, the wise people. Yes. Those who are seers of the truth have concluded. But Krishna, you are supposed to conclude, isn't it? So why is Krishna using the seers of the truth?
Because it's Krishna and Arjuna are still in the family.
No. In 2.7, the relationship between Krishna and Arjuna has changed. It's no more friendly. One has become a guru and one has become a student. And as a student, you're supposed to be disciplined. And as a teacher, you're supposed to be grave. हंसी मजाक नहीं चलेगा अभी. So Krishna is not having a laugh with him anymore. From 2.8 onwards, रिश्तेदारी बदल चुकी है. Okay. So why is Krishna saying the seers of the truth have concluded? Any guesses? No?
Putting those people in the front and forefront because
to get their view.
Whose people?
He's
talking to Arjun.
Yes.
The seers are not there.
I mean, their point of view to Arjun.
But why is he doing this? Why is he doing this? This is what I'm saying. Itna aapko slowly, even Bhakti Shastri, they won't take you like this. So get this right. If those few verses up to verse number 30, which are the Gyan of Atma and the body, go slowly but carefully to make a basement. Hare Krishna. Welcome. Hare Krishna. Aye. And I'll give you an example, something very similar. Krishna has used when we reach chapter 13 in a couple of months. Arjun had asked Krishna, does anyone remember what Arjun had asked Krishna in chapter 13? Now, Arjun had asked 6 questions to Krishna in chapter 13, apart from other questions he has asked. And Arjun says, Hey Krishna, Prakritim Purusham Chaiva, Kshetra Kshetyagyo Revachaha, Etad Vedtam Ichhami, Jnanam Geyam Sakeshva. Oh Krishna, what is Prakriti? What is Purusha? What is Jnana? And who is the knower of Jnana? All these items I want to understand. In reply, one of the verses, Krishna spoke this verse. Soka Mataji, do you want to read this verse, please? Loud enough, please. जोर से. गीतम छंदोभीर पृथक् सूत्र पदश्चैव हेतु मद्भिर विनिश्चितः चित्तः. Okay. Rishibhir Bahuda Geetam. Now Arjun has asked some simple questions and he says, please give me the answers. Krishna is in front of him, the knower of everything. आम सर्वस्य प्रभो मता सर, मुझसे ही सब कुछ उत्पन्न हुआ. आपसे सब कुछ उत्पन्न हुआ तो ज्ञान भी तो आपसे उत्पन्न हुआ है. But what is Krishna says? Rishibhir Bahuda Geetam. The knowledge of field of activities and the knower of activities is described by various sages in various Vedic writings. In simple words, what Krishna is doing in today's verse is something similar. The seers of truth have done this. संत महात्माओं ने ये अनुभव निकाला है, ये निष्कर्ष निकाला है. What he is trying to teach us, Krishna, is always go following the footsteps of the advanced devotees. आपकी बुद्धि लिमिटेड है. तत्वदर्शी भी. In today's verse, what is the quality of these sages? तत्वदर्शी भी, जो तत्व को जानते हैं, who have seen the truth, who have realized the truth. Always follows those who have realized the truth. We are not at that stage to realize the truth. We're in the process. One of the parts and the salient parts of the process is to surrender to a guru. Tadvidi pranipatena sevayam jnanina. Is it the same in today's verse also? So chapter 4, verse number 34 talks the same. Tattvadarshinaha, tattvadarshi bhi. जिनको तत्व का बोध है, ज्ञान है, those who know the truth, those who know the differentiation between, who have realized, जिनके system में आ चुका है, that I am not this body, I am the soul, who behave that way And how does their behavior look like will be coming at pretty much at the end of this chapter, 254 onwards. Sthit pragya kya hota hai? What is the sthit pragya and how does he behave? Arjun will ask those questions. How do I make out that these people are Tattvadarshi? Who is a sthit pragya? So the first learning lesson is always follow those who have seen the truth. Arjun has been given an example that it's not me alone, Arjun. For a common man, you can ask me. I'm the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Arjun, you can ask me. But what about the common people? For us, Krishna is answering this. For us, he is indicating where to go. When Krishna cannot be seen by our eyes, defective eyes, we can only see within the range of certain frequencies, Vibgyor. After that, or above that, or below that spectrum, we cannot even see. Our ears can only hear 20 to 20,000 hertz. Below and above, we cannot hear. Limitation. Ullu is better than us in that aspect. Similarly, for smell, hydrogen sulfide, if you smell for a little bit of a period, you may lose your sense of smell completely. So we have limitations. With those limitations, when we are unable to see Krishna, realize him at all, the only way is to follow those who are Tattvadarshi. Strengthens our point. Those who have accepted a guru, perfectly right track. Those who are new and have not taken initiation, high time Krishna is already indicating to you. At least start listening to their classes. At least start going to those pilgrimage places where such seers of truth stay. Take their association. Okay, so the seers of the truth have concluded that of the non-existent, that is the material body, why does Krishna say the word non-existent? Can we all see each other? क्या हम अब एक दूसरे को देख पा रहे हैं? कुछ तो exist कर रहा है. And Prabhupada is talking about body only. Krishna is talking body. Then why Prabhupada says non-existent? This is how carefully we have to study Bhagavad Gita. सिर्फ श्लोक रटने से नहीं हो. That's also good. Actually, it is good to memorize the verses. But why Prabhupada says non-existent here? Try to understand the meaning of every word.
Because it's body that it will die. It won't be existing forever.
Very good. It's a body that will die. It will not exist forever. So what does that make the body as? Temporary. Thank you very much. So when we say the Sat, Sat means eternal truth. It will always be there. And when we say non-existence means it is there, but it is not going to be there forever. So we'll come to the further verses when Krishna will say that avaktadini bhutani vyakta madhanani bharataha avakta. Again, in the past, we were there. Right now, we were there in the past, but we can't see. Now, we all of a sudden have manifested. हम नजर आ रहे हैं एक दूसरे को. In the future, will be again avyakta. Will not be visible to anyone. Similarly, what Krishna is indicating, this body is temporary. It's one point which actually Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu very nicely explained about Bhagavad Gita is, the English part. I never realized that actually. When we put a parenthesis, जब हम bracket ये square वाला bracket लगाते हैं ना, when we put a square bracket, not the half moon bracket or crescent bracket, that square bracket is to add. the circular brackets are to clarify. In this, Prabhupada is not trying to clarify, he's trying to add. That when I say the word non-existent, it means I'm talking of the material body. I'm adding, it's a material body that we are talking of, and that it exists, but not forever. It's temporary. So he says, they have concluded that the material body, there is no endurance. Endurance means एक क्षमता to झेल पाना, to be able to bear with things. So you don't have, endurance also means lasting. It won't last. What Krishna is telling Arjun is that two of those relatives that you are most attached to, the Bhishma and the Dronacharya, they are just bodies that you are seeing. They don't have it. The body doesn't have endurance. वो तो रहेगी नहीं. That's a very subtle hint. एक सूक्ष्म मैसेज है अर्जुन के लिए. Arjun, kill them, fight with them. If you don't fight with them, this body is going to perish anyway. ये जो भौतिक शरीर आप द्रोणा और भीष्म का देख रहे हैं, जिससे आप लड़ने से इनकार कर रहे हैं, एक ना एक दिन ये भौतिक शरीर वैसे भी चला जाएगा, तुम मारो या ना मारो. It has no endurance. So might as well stand up and fight and take the credit for it. It's all going to come in the future chapters when Krishna tells him, Sabyasachi, Nimitt Matra, Bhav Sabyasachi. Nimitt Matra. Take the credit for it. Be my instrument. Nimitt Matra. And Sabyasachi means? Thank you very much. Expert in shooting arrows with both the hands. दोनों तरफ से मार सकता था. Okay. So, the teachers that you are looking, the relatives you are looking, they are just purely bodies. They will be perishing anyway in due course of time. And right now in chapter 11, Krishna says, right now I have collected all of them क्योंकि इनकी मृत्यु आ चुकी है. I've already written, Kalo Asmi Lok Shat Pravridho. And I've collected them here because at one place I'm going to finish them. Their time is up. Rityapitam na bhavishanti sarve. If you do not kill them, they are dead anyway. So might as well take the credit for it, Arjun. And then Krishna further says, and of the eternal, there is no change. आत्मा बदलेगी नहीं, अपरिवर्तित. This has been concluded by the studying the nature of both. दोनों को, शरीर को और आत्मा को, these both have been studied by the seers of the truth, by the sages, and this is the conclusion they have come to. Ubhayor, both. Api drishto antas. What does drishto antas? Let's see the meaning. Drishtaha, drishto, observed. Antaha, conclusion. A simple meaning, and this is another learning outcome for us. हम तत्व के ज्ञान की तरफ जाना चाह रहे हैं. How do the seers of the truth become the seers of the truth? ये संत महात्मा इतने बड़े कैसे हो जाते हैं that their body starts to vibrate that aura? Once my spiritual master came to Wellington, I was not initiated that time. We are talking something like 2013 or 12 or 14, something like that. And when he was going upstairs in the presently closed temple to the sannyasi room, I went and hugged him from behind. I just held him like that. And he stopped and he looked at me and said, "You like always hugging me, isn't it?" I said, "Yes, Gurudev, there is something special aura which I feel attracted to." And you will find all the gurus that have this kind of aura. How? In this verse, Krishna is justifying how they have become Tattvadarshi Bhihi. Drishto antaha. Drishto, to observe. Observe here means, Drishto means, in an explanatory terms, how will you get jnana? Let's see. We are getting some knowledge. How do we get knowledge? By studying the Shastras. That's the highest knowledge, the Vedas. Right? When we go deep into the study of the Vedas, that's when we get the Jnana Chakshu, the eyes of knowledge. Whether it's a sadhu or it's a guru, we say follow the guru, sadhu, and shastra. Guru and sadhu follow one thing. They both collectively follow one thing. What is that? Shastra. That's the common link. When the seers of the truth start to read the scriptures, they go into the depth of it. They get a drishti. They get a vision. They get the eyes of knowledge. With that study, with those eyes of knowledge, of realizing, they come to a conclusion. Antas, antaha, Vedanta. What does Vedanta mean? The end of the Vedas, Ved ka ant, which means a conclusion. Similarly, when the seers of the truth study these, they come to the conclusion. And that conclusion, Krishna is describing without going into any further, just straight conclusion. Conclusion क्या है? नास्तो विद्यते भावो, ना भावो विद्यते सतः. This body is not going to be forever. It's temporary. And this soul has eternity. This has been realized as a conclusion by those who are seers of the truth because they have gone into the depth of the scriptures to understand it. Okay. So I've done enough of talking. Somebody else would like to read the first paragraph of the purport, please. Mataji, do you want to read?
There is no endurance of the changing body, that the body is changing every moment by the actions and reactions of the different cells is admitted by modern medical science, and thus growth and old age are taking place in the body. But the spirit soul exists permanently, remaining the same despite all changes of the body and the mind. That is the difference between matter and spirit. By nature, the body is ever changing and the soul is eternal. This conclusion is established by all classes of seers of the truth, both impersonalists and personalists. In the Vishnu Purana 2.12.38, it is stated that Vishnu and his abodes all have self-illuminated spiritual existence. Jyotishmi Vishnu Bhuvanani Vishnu.
Yes.
The words existent and non-existent refer only to spirit and matter. That is the version of all seers of
The
truth.
truth. Thank you very much. Let's see. Mataji, you are very good at reading Hindi. Now you are going to be our official spokesperson. Let's see if this is the right one. Stand by. I think so. तात्पर्य, हाँ. So तात्पर्य से आप हिंदी में loud enough, please.
परिवर्तनशील शरीर का कोई स्थायित्व नहीं है। आधुनिक चिकित्सा विज्ञान ने यह स्वीकार किया है कि विभिन्न कोशिकाओं की क्रिया प्रतिक्रिया द्वारा शरीर प्रतिक्षण बदलता रहता है। इस तरह शरीर में वृद्धि तथा वृद्धावस्था आती रहती है, किंतु शरीर तथा मन में निरंतर परिवर्तन होने पर भी आत्मा स्थायी रहता है। यही पदार्थ तथा आत्मा का अंतर है।
Thank you. I will read further because there's more. What I'm trying to look at is आधुनिक चिकित्सा विज्ञान ने भी यह स्वीकार किया है. The existing advanced medical science research has also concluded. What have they concluded? कि विभिन्न कोशिकाओं की क्रिया प्रतिक्रिया द्वारा, action reactions, the whole body actually changes itself in 7 years. This figure is 7 years, I've heard from the lectures only. The body is changing every minute. It's just that we don't realize it, but we can realize it over the period of time. Bring your photograph of childhood and you can see how much you have changed. The nails are growing slowly. You don't immediately realize. The hair are growing. You don't realize, but over a period you realize, yeah, I've got a growth in the hair. So your body is changing. What are the 6 changes in the material world? भौतिक जगत में 6 चीजें. What are the 6 steps to the changes? Birth, yes, no, growth. First you are born, then you grow, then you sustain, then you produce byproducts, then you degrade, and then you die. These are 6 steps. जन्म होता है, growth होती है, then you're at a certain level, मस्त हो गए, शादी हो गई, you have children, byproducts, then बूढ़ा हो गया, जरा गया. Right? So, शरीर परिवर्तनशील है, लेकिन what Krishna is trying to tell him is आत्मा परिवर्तनशील नहीं है. और जिनके बारे में for those who are crying, their आत्मा वो परिवर्तनशील नहीं है. Your guru and your teacher, your Bhishma and the other, your cousins, they'll all still stay alive because that is their real them. परिवर्तनशील नहीं है वो. What you are seeing is just the body, and this body or anything in the material world. If you leave a house as it is, उसमें भी वही changes आएंगे. You created it, you made it grow, you developed it from inside, और धीरे धीरे वो खत्म हो जाएगा if you don't attend to it. So, यही पदार्थ तथा आत्मा का अंतर है. This is the difference between body and the soul. Mataji, please continue.
स्वभावतः शरीर नित्य परिवर्तनशील है और आत्मा शाश्वत है.
परिवर्तनशील, शाश्वत means eternal. Okay.
तत्वदर्शियों ने चाहे वे निर्विशेषवादी हो या सगुणवादी हो, इस निष्कर्ष की स्थापना की है. विष्णु पुराणों में कहा गया है कि विष्णु तथा उनके धाम स्वयं प्रकाश से प्रकाशित है.
हाँ, एक मिनट बताइए. विष्णु पुराण में कहा गया है कि विष्णु तथा उनके धाम स्वयं प्रकाश से प्रकाशित हैं. Those न तद भास्वते सूर्यो न शशांको न पावकः यद गत्वा निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम. 10.6. मेरा जो घर है, माई होम, द अबोर्ड, द स्पिरिचुअल अबोर्ड, डज नॉट रिक्वायर लाइट बाय फायर और इलेक्ट्रिसिटी or by any other means like sun or moon. My home is the spiritual abode. The spiritual home is self-illuminating. Similarly, Atma is self-illuminating because it is spiritual in nature. Actually, the word, when we talk of the word self-illumination, one is the physical self-illumination, and another meaning, which will come in the later verses, is also knowledge. So when you hear those people who are in the sattva guna, their ears are in knowledge, their nose is in knowledge. Knowledge means prakash, illumination. Means they know what to hear, they know what to smell, they will not go on the wrong side. That is also meaning of the word illumination. But here the illumination is physical illumination. ओके, सो विष्णु पुराण में कहा गया है कि विष्णु तथा उनके धाम स्वयं प्रकाश से प्रकाशित हैं। आगे माता जी।
ज्योतिषी विष्णुर्भवनानि विष्णु तत् तथा असत शब्द आत्मा तथा भौतिक पदार्थ के ही द्योतक है। सभी तत्वदर्शियों की यह स्थापना है।
सो सभी तत्वदर्शियों की। सो प्रभुपाद सेज हियर, जो प्रभुपाद अपनी टिप्पणी में, कमेंट्री फ्रॉम प्रभुपाद, ही इज सेइंग, चाहे वे निर्वेश निर्वेशवादी हों या सगुणवादी, whether they are personalists or impersonalists, whether they consider Krishna in a form or without a form, they all agree that there is something called a body and there is something called a soul, and these two are different. Sorry, I'm just going to the second paragraph and see. Okay. Premataji, do you want to read the second paragraph, please?
This is the beginning of the instruction by the Lord to the living entities who are bewildered by the influence of ignorance. Removal of ignorance involves the re-establishment of the eternal relationship between the worshipper and the worshipable, and the consequent understanding of the difference between the part and parcel living entities and the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
One second. Thank you, Mataji. We'll come to the next part later on. Very important learnings again. This is the beginning of instructions of the Lord. We discussed that. To the living entities who are bewildered by the influence of ignorance. हमारे साथ जो भी हो रहा है, whatever is happening to us, happiness and distress, the perceptions, it's all because of ignorance, influence of ignorance. What is our ignorance?
Not knowing the difference between body, the spirit, and the
Ignorance.
So,
We are not this body, we are the soul.
That is knowledge. What is the ignorance? That identifying with the body is one part. The major ignorance is,
When the body dies, the soul also.
whom have we forgotten? Thank you.
Institution position.
We forgot Krishna. See how short all of us, including me, our memories. The next sentence we have already read. क्या बोलते हैं next sentence में? Removal of ignorance involves re-establishment of the eternal relationship between Krishna. That means ignorance is we have forgotten Krishna. अभी पढ़ा ना, भूल गए. इसलिए भगवद गीता को ध्यान से. So this is the beginning of the instruction that we are under the influence of ignorance. That's why we are behaving the way we behave. And the way to come out of that ignorance is by establishing our relationship between the worshipper and the worshipable. Krishna is Shaktiman and we are Shakti. What kind of Shakti are we? No. Thank you very much. Tatastha Shakti. You go to a bank of a river or even ocean, the shore of the ocean or the beach. You have one side which is water and the other side is land. There is something in between. पानी आता भी है, नहीं भी आता. You get the water and the water goes away. That's the beach. Similarly, when we are at the bank of a river, one side is water, one side is land. एक बीच का हिस्सा है, तटस्थ, तट पे बैठा हुआ. One who is sitting on the bank. जिधर की हवा लगी, whichever way the wind is stronger, that way it will fall. Wind means the influence. If because we are a small portion of Krishna, we are not powerful enough. The shore side can be called bhautik. हवा चली इस तरफ गिर गया, हवा चली उस तरफ गिर गया. Or alternatively, we can look at it. You sitting at that tat on the bank of the river have a choice. You want to take a dip in Gangaji or do you want to stay on the shore? It's your choice. So as a Tathastha Shakti, we have a choice. Krishna doesn't interfere with your choice. He has given you the free will. But we all, at least those who are listening to this, we are all who are congregating every Sunday, have decided, no, Krishna, we want to be on your side. We want to take a dip in Gangaji and not just sit on the bank or walk away from the river. That is the conclusion. Shakti and Shaktiman. Tathastha Shakti. One is Bahiranga Shakti, one is Antaranga Shakti, and the third is Tathastha Shakti. External energy, internal energy, and the marginal energy. What is the external energy? Internal. Radharani is one of the parts of the internal. Anyway, that's a Hladini Shakti. So internal Shakti, Yoga Maya. Yoga Maya is the internal potency or internal energy of the Lord. Maya Devi, which puts us into illusion, is the external energy. And we, the living entities, are the Tatastha Shakti. Okay. So we understood that we are in ignorance. Arjuna is basically being told by Krishna, you are in ignorance. You are relating to the body. You should be relating to the soul. And to remove that ignorance, Prabhupada is telling us we should know the difference between worshipable and the worshipper. Okay. And the consequence of understanding the difference between worshipper, the consequence क्या होगा जब आप between and the consequent understanding of the difference between the part and parcel living entities and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What is the meaning of part and parcel? हमने सबसे पहले सेशन में किया था, a year ago. What does part and parcel mean? Why not we say part? And one Mataji did put up a notice also on this in a group. Yes, yes. Welcome back from America. She put a WhatsApp message further clarifying Prabhupada's words in that. What is the meaning of part and parcel? Why don't we say we are parts of Krishna? हम कृष्णा के हिस्से हैं.
We have the minute qualities of the Lord.
Yeah, we have the mind, but why are we part? And so we could be part of Krishna.
Yeah. How the
Which fingers?
all these fingers, so they are part and parcel of the, like the body, everything. We are just
Quality
we are
and
different
different from
parts.
Krishna, but Krishna doesn't, like, there's no changes to me. It's still in full.
Individuality.
Coming close, yes. Last time also you only answered. Because the answer very much relates to her.
Just like Prabhuji said last time, when we have babies.
Baby था ना इसमें.
Yeah, but then there's another.
Thank you. Yes. Part and parcel. Pen है किसी के पास? नहीं. No. Yeah. No, but that's okay. When you have a pen, for example, you take the cap off. उसकी cap निकाल दीजिए. What happens? Do you still have a full pen? You still have a full pen?
Oh, no.
नहीं. There is no cap. If you take the spring off out of the pen,
Oh.
is it still a full pen? So the cap the refill, the spring inside, the main fuselage of the body, they're parts of Krishna. Okay? Or they're parts of the pen, sorry. They cannot be called part and parcel. Removing one item does not leave the original item as full. If that is the case, then it is called a part. If removal of an item still keeps the original item full, then that small item which has been removed is going to be called part and parcel. Okay. The closest example in the bhautik jagat, in the material world, we can give about this is a Mataji having a baby. If a baby comes from the womb of a Mataji, and the baby has got 2 hands, 2 legs, 1 nose, 2 ears, all working perfect, and a heart, that doesn't mean she has donated her 2 hands. She should be without 2 hands. So that baby is part and parcel of the original. The original still have a heart. The newborn has a new heart. The original has 2 hands. The baby also has 2 hands. The birth of a baby has not reduced the Mataji in any which way, as far as the organs are concerned. Okay? So that's the meaning of part and parcel. Mataji, please continue.
Thorough study of oneself. The difference between oneself and the Supreme Being understood is the relationship between the part and the whole.
1 minute, Mataji. So, अब भगवान को जाने कैसे? So the first step we start with in the devotional services by hearing, which gives rise to knowing ourselves. If we want to understand the constitution of an ocean, how much salt it has, what kind of minerals there are, we can take a sample of the ocean. Similarly, we can take a drop of the ocean and analyze it, which gives us a bit of an understanding of the bigger picture, the ocean itself. Similarly, we as part and parcel of Krishna also have qualities of Krishna, but minute ones. So first thing we start doing is analyze ourselves. And our analysis means Atma ka gyan. Know the self. Okay. And the only difference is we are small, we are Anu, Krishna is Vibhu. Wonderful. Thank you. Okay. Mataji, please continue.
The Supreme has been accepted as the origin of all emanations. Such emanations are experienced by superior and inferior natural sequences. The living entities belong to the superior nature as it will be revealed in the 7th chapter.
Right.
Although there is no difference between the energy and the energetic is accepted as the supreme, and energy or nature is accepted as the subordinate. The living entities, therefore, are always subordinate to the Supreme Lord, as in the case of the Master and the servant, or the teacher and the taught.
Right.
Such clear knowledge is impossible to understand under the spell of ignorance. To drive away such ignorance, the Lord teaches the Bhagavad Gita for the enlightenment of all living entities for all time.
Fantastic. This verse is telling us why Bhagavad Gita is taught. In the preface also, or somewhere in the introduction, in the very first month when we all started in the month of June last year, or July, we had a question why Bhagavad Gita is being taught, to remove the ignorance of the ignorant. And in this verse again, the same point is coming. Please stick to Bhagavad Gita because this will remove your ignorance. On its own, the ignorance will not go. merely reading the Shastras may not go. We are very badly conditioned in Kali Yuga. बुरी तरह से जकड़े हुए हैं. That's why the importance of Guru. That's why the importance of him imparting us jnana. It's a very subtle science and people do not understand this. In chapter 9 of Bhagavad Gita, he says, Idam tu te goetamam. Pakshami anasuye. I am going to speak this guhya gyan, this secret, confidential knowledge. It's all printed in the books. What is so confidential about it? The confidentiality is that it sprouts inside. अंदर से बीज फूटता है, गुरु का सिखाया हुआ. This can only be done by practical observation. करके देखिए, without challenging it. Then this jnana will come inside. Knowledge, reading Bhagavad Gita, plus giving service to the Vaishnavas equals to realization. ये equation याद रखिएगा. Knowledge plus service. भागवतम में आएगा. In Bhagavatam Canto 2, chapter number 4. There's a description of the Chatur Shloki. So very quickly closing that this knowledge of body and the soul is also known to the demons. राक्षसों को भी इसका ज्ञान होता है और अच्छे से ज्ञान होता है और वही ज्ञान हम भी ले रहे हैं. An example is, and I'll close this with the last example. I think we are already past 2 o'clock. Who was the brother of Hiranyakashipu? Hiranyaksha. Hiranyaksha passed away or died, not passed away. He was killed. Who killed him? Varahadev. Lord Varaha killed Vishnu. Oh, sorry, Hiranyaksha. Hiranyaksha wanted to kill Vishnuji. Now, Vishnuji came in the form of a boar, pig, big pig, big boar. And he killed Hiranyaksha. Now, Hiranyakasipu, the brother, of course, he was mad. He wanted to kill the offenders towards his brother. However, he had a lamenting family. The family consisting of his cousins, his nephews. Hiranyaksha के बच्चे भी थे. Hiranyaksha's wife and his own mother. Who was the mother? Diti. So what does he say? And Prabhupada says this jnana that Hiranyakashipu is giving to the others is very found, is very sound. अच्छा ज्ञान है, बिल्कुल करेक्ट ज्ञान है. तो दानव को भी ज्ञान है. So what does he say? Vinita Mataji, do you want to read this verse? Just the English translation. This is Hiranyaksha talking to his family. Loud enough, please.
Is fully aware and completely different from the material body.
Thank you. He is fully aware and is completely different from the material body. Even Hiranyakashipu is also aware that body and soul are two different things. Please continue, Mataji.
But because of being misled by misuse of this slight indifference, he is obliged to accept such adverse bodies created by the material energy and thus be subjected to so-called material happiness and distress. Therefore, no one should lament for the passing of the spirit soul from the home.
Therefore, now this is another learning point for us, and I think there was once a question online whether we should be crying for someone who dies or not. Therefore, no one should lament for the passing of the spirit soul from the body. Hiranyakashipu is telling his mother and the nephews and his sister-in-law, don't cry for the departed soul. It's still alive. It's not going to die. Similarly, when we see a death in our family, yes, it's a matter of sorrow. We are losing somebody. However, we should not be like the Rudalis, beating our chests and crying out loud. Instead, a good service to such a departed soul sitting next to their dead body is by praying to Krishna for their next good spiritual journey. I was listening to a lecture, I cannot quote the scriptural reference for it, but those who cry, any secretion that comes out of your face while you are trying to lament for the person who has left your family, that person, that soul, whatever their next destination is, they are given all your tears and the mucus coming from your nose in a plate and said, please accept this. Therefore, don't cry, because all those tears your forefather will have to drink. Instead, of course, remorselessly, but in a praying mood to Krishna, we should beg, Krishna, please give our forefather a higher destination, a spiritual destination. And that's the best service for us. So I'll stop here. Let's chant Hare Krishna loud enough once, because it's the first instruction we have learned between the body and the soul that Krishna is giving it to Arjun. A lot of learning outcomes for us. Always follow the scriptures. Always follow a guru, because they are the seers of the truth. How have they seen the truth? They have gone into the depth of knowledge. They've got Jnana Chakshu. And then they have come to the conclusion. So if we don't have time to actually read through the scriptures, at least listen from somebody else. Okay? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Anyone has any question here? Comment? Knowledge plus service equals to realization. And in the previous verse, we read something else. Knowledge plus devotion equals to? Thank you. Wonderful. Knowledge plus devotion equals to liberation. Knowledge plus service equals to realization. Realization means अंदर से फूटना, बीज का. Okay? Okay, we stop here. It's past 2 o'clock. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवत गीता की, प्रभुपाद की, जय गो प्रेमानंदे. हरि हरि बोल. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Kirtan?